Hi everyone, and welcome to tonight's different John's Harmony 21. All is with me because a couple. No, you're not supposed to speak, Ola.
Sorry.
Because a couple of people asked questions for tonight, more than a couple. So Ola is actually going to ask John the questions. Obviously, I can't. Actually, I probably could, but I don't want to keep jumping in and out of my body. It's not that comfortable.
Good idea.
It's lovely to see everybody. I'm not going to go through and say hi by name to everybody. It's really nice to have you all here and to see the interest in what we're about to start. Now, we do have a lot of questions. John allocated 15 minutes for questions. And so my proposal is, once we've hit the 15 minutes, any questions not yet answered, we will do at the next Harmony 21. In which case, if we haven't answered them all tonight, don't send any more in for next month, otherwise it'll keep getting pushed. Okay. You can send them in, we'll just hold them back until we've got a clear run. And if that doesn't make sense, I'm not surprised because it didn't make sense to me, but there you go. It's been an interesting time. It's been fun. Okay. So, without further ado, I'm going to disappear and you can all talk to John. And we bid you welcome.
Welcome, John.
Thank you very much. So, the idea of asking a couple of questions seems to have become an interesting situation, does it not?
Yeah.
Of course, we've got many.
Yes.
However, each of these questions are significant and important. Therefore, even if you do not have an answer for your question at this time, it will be asked and answered as we move forward. So we hope that that satisfies those of who have kindly asked complex questions with lots of words for us to navigate. However, so let us begin with the question number 1.
Okay. So the first question is from Angela, and it is, how do we best help at this time? Do we keep working with the grid, or are there other ways more optimal?
Goodness gracious, more optimal.
That's a word.
You know, this is what is so fascinating. Thank you for asking this question, because it's a good one insofar as people do not understand the significance of the grid as the most powerful tool you have for affecting change energetically in your world. Because the grid interlocks and interconnects with all life forms in your world, a energy you transmit into the grid has an enormous consequence. Beyond that, your planet then shifts frequency, which means its vibratory rate in your solar system also has an impact. So at this point in time, the most beneficial action you can take, stand upon the grid and radiate love and light unconditionally into your world. We hope this answers your question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
That was a quick one, was it not?
It was very quick, very efficient, yes.
Thank you very much.
The next question is from Caroline, and she says, in such times of war and natural disasters, if souls die unexpectedly and are in shock as they depart, is there a way of sending healing that can assist and support their transition?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Always sending healing is beneficial to a transition. However, not everyone recovers from shock at the same frequency. So sending the energy is beneficial to the outcome. It does not, however, necessarily impact the speed of the outcome.
Okay.
Anyone who passes unexpectedly can find themselves in a bit of a limbo, particularly if prior to their passing, tremendous emotional energy is present, which natural disasters, such as the fires and the floods and the earthquakes, etc., the volcanoes, all of these activate what is called in your world primal fear. Sense you are helpless, the odds are so overwhelming. Are you ever going to be able to run away from the situation? That kind of a thing. And so for many people, that shock requires time to recover. In some situations, the healing assists the transition fully to where we are. And yet there is still kind of a coma situation for the recovery. In other circumstances, because of the intensity of the fear, transiting over to us and a different frequency, in addition to the frequency they are already experiencing, can break some soul energy.
Oh.
Do you see?
Yes.
So the simple answer is send the healing to all souls involved in disasters without considering, contemplating, or proposing that it assists them to move over. Do you see what we mean?
So are you're saying send the healing unconditionally?
Always.
Yeah.
Same answer as the first one, just a lot more words to it. Because there's a different frequency, do you see?
Yes, yeah. Thank you, John. The next question is from Clara. She says, John, will there be any souls trapped in the in-between after death and can't be liberated or reincarnated? If yes, how do we know about them and what could we do to help them to move on? That's a similar question, isn't it?
Slightly different, because these are souls who are trapped not because of a disaster, but because they are. So, for example, think about your ghosts.
Yeah.
It's the energy of a being that has not let go of where it is in order to move to where it's going to go. You see?
Yeah.
The soul involved may pass over, but not all of the energy. So they do not fully pass over. They find themselves in the void. And that is where they are until they choose to change it. You cannot assist them. Even sending healing cannot assist them to change their state. It can support them in that state. However, until they are willing to let go and move away from the attachment that they have, it can be to a place, it can be to a person, it can be an emotion. particularly, it can also be to a judgment. Until they are willing themselves to let go, that is where they remain. They are not suffering. Let us make this clear. No one suffers. They are simply in what you might term a suspended animation.
Okay.
They're hanging about the place. Nothing you can do in that circumstance. The healing assists their energy, does not change their situation.
Okay. Thank you. I think we probably have time for one more question. This is from Colin. So he says, my wife is pressing to have our daughter medicated with ADHD medicine. My question is how to discern the appropriateness of medication when I feel and have experienced a massive loss of sense of self, awareness to the world, and connection to spirit. To be asked to be complicit in what I feel is the cutting off of spirit is akin to not only wounding the flesh, but is directly to the soul itself.
So the first part of the answer is you are not your daughter. What we mean by that is your frequency is more sensitive as the consequences of the experiences of your journey. Your daughter's energy is very different because she's a child of you and your wife. And the energy and frequency that the two combined energies offered for her journey. Secondly, if you set aside your own circumstances at a conscious level that your wife would accept, if you visit an alternative practitioner for ideas and possibilities, such as a naturopath or homeopath, and suggest that you try this path first. If it does not work, then you know that medication is the only answer at this point. Doing it in this manner, your wife sees you have tried your way. If it works, wonderful, all of you learn and grow. If it does not, wonderful, because in some circumstances, allopathic medicine is the only medicine because the condition is a condition of mass consciousness. ADHD and ADD are conditions of mass consciousness. They are created by the frenetic energy in which souls are living in your world. That is a very long and complex conversation to be had at some point in the future, maybe one of the talks.
Okay.
We hope this is sufficient to assist the colleague forward, one way or the other, in this circumstance.
Thank you, John. Would you like one more question, or do you have time, or
No.
what do you do?
No, it's not about time. If we answer too many questions, the purpose and connection of any to each of those we have answered becomes lost. It simply becomes about knowledge.
Okay.
If you look at it, all of these questions are about energy and frequency. Are
Yep.
they not?
Yes, they are, yeah.
So therefore, not to ask any more. Pay attention to the answers and allow yourself to be guided by them. Or not, if you do not like them. Because you always got a choice. And choosing not to follow an answer does not make you less spiritual. It just means you are saying, no, thank you.
Yeah.
However, if you say no, thank you, we might have to come and talk to you.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
Now we would like to do the Harmony 21. But we would like to say this first. The fires of the Los Angeles have had an impact because for the first time, a major city, considering itself impregnable, has been very, very badly wounded, and we say wounded. For the first time, idea that cities might burn as a consequence of natural disasters, and the helplessness because of the speed of this has had a major impact on more than one level. There are many things to address as a consequence. Many people lost their homes and then discovered that the businesses whose purpose was to give them some insurance decided no. And so these souls had survived the fire. They have survived the fire with nothing. They have to begin again. We are not diminishing this because it's not going to be easy because there are so many of them in the same situation. However, it's an opportunity to look at how things operate and find ways to introduce more kindness and compassion into your world. Do not just see victims. See the opportunities. There was complacency. And so things that could have been done, resources that could have been made available were not. There's grief. There are souls who did not, because of their fear, cross to us. And these are the ones we will address in this particular exercise. There's anger and there's fear. And when you have these together, there is not a peaceful energy. Asking for peace for these souls is not appropriate. And we will say this again, asking for peace for these souls is not appropriate. Because then you are denying them the opportunity to find a way to resolve how they feel. Asking for them to express verbally, here we go, you see, verbally, how they feel is the answer. They may find a way to express their emotions in a manner that allows healing for themselves and others. Do not forget that those who try to fight these fires with inadequate resources also carry guilt. Guilt that they could not do what they had volunteered to do. Shame that people that they were there to serve, to protect, to assist, died. That's because the fire is controlled. Does not mean the situation is over. This is the beginning. And it will take many years for this to be resolved. If your world looks at this, if you look at this and say, where do these situations apply to me? Where have I not been kind? Where have I not been compassionate? Where have I not had the resources to be of assistance and support? Then your world can learn and change. That is the end of the lecture. Now we're going to do the exercise. So we ask that you focus on your breath. And as you do so, allow your energy to set. If you have a safe place, a sanctuary that you visit in your meditation, then please to go there. If you do not, remember your sanctuary is your heart. Step into your heart as an alternative. Neither is better than the other. But this is about focusing your attention in one place and space. Now, as you breathe, we ask you to say 3 things. To yourself, we ask you to say, I stand in light. Secondly, I call in light. Number 3, I am light. Say these 3 things 2 more times. I stand in light. I call in light. I am light. I stand in light. I call in light. I am light. And now see that light moving through the grid as a gentle wave of energy. Moving around your planet. And as you do so, in the spaces in the grid, you will find those who are trapped between 2 worlds. You cannot communicate with them, they cannot communicate with you. However, this energy frees them from being stuck to the grid. It frees them to be able to enter the void. And in the void, they have the opportunity to move forward, to stay where they are, until such time as they are ready to move forward. See that light, that gentle wave, continuing to flow around your world in all directions until it returns to you. And know the important work has begun. Now we thank we ask you occasionally to return to this exercise. It does not need to be done each day religiously by rote. But when you occasionally think of any disaster, this is the exercise we ask you to perform, because it serves all life forms. And it helps to change the frequency of your planet. We thank you. And we leave you. For I am John.
Thank you, John. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
How is everybody?
Well, I'm very warm.
Are you?
I feel like it's a volcano of heat. Yes.
We've got some kind of breathing going on. I think somebody else is joining us. I don't know if they are, because I can't see anybody, but I can hear breathing. I don't know if anybody else can. How is everybody else out there? Are you all still alive and well?
Sarupa says windy.
Windy. Okay, Windy.
Oh,
Yeah, no, okay. Thank you. And thank you to anybody who joins us after this, who catches up because zones, for joining us and being part of this. I hope you all found it beneficial. Don't go yet because I haven't finished. I hope you all found it beneficial to have this Q&A. Would you like it to continue? Well, all the comments were coming in, now they've all stopped.
here they come.
People can hear breathing.
Unless they're hearing my fan. I just turned it off. So if the breathing has stopped, it was my fan.
Okay, so yeah, Angela likes it. Amala, Mandy, Haresh. Yeah. Ola's not an excellent host. Just forget it.
Yeah.
We're not having Ola every week, every month. No, she's going to be banished. It is significant, Adam, yes, and beneficial. And thank you for the questions. I don't know what the questions are. I've got to listen to the recording to find out how I answered them. But I do feel this could be helpful at this point in time. We're in transition on so many levels. So I think that's about it, really. Because I'm missing the news and President Trump's inauguration.
Interesting.
Stirred the pot, so we need more of this energy, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you for participating. And as far as it goes, then it looks like we will continue to do this as long as people send questions. Is the catch, you see? If you don't send questions, we can't have a Q&A. All right. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy your evening, your morning, whatever part of the day it is. And we'll see you next month. Ola and I will see you next month.
Bye.
Okay. See you later. Bye.
See you.